This week, Designing Minds features the first of 3 episodes on world-renowned graphic artist Stefan Sagmeister. A celebrity of the design world, Sagmeister is a boundary pusher, blending sexuality, tenacity, and wit in sometimes dark, sometimes bizarre, but always intriguing ways. His style has evolved over time, but seeds of his maverick approach were evident early in his career.
Hi, I'm Stefan Sagmeister. I am a graphic designer and I'm on Designing Minds. I was in terrible rock bands and at the same time started to write for a youth culture magazine. And I think those two influences, I pretty much knew that I wanted to be a designer. I also very, very much loved, and do so until this very day, the mass aspects of it. The text really was done with an IBM typewriter that was cut up, glued into columns. Now the headlines, we didn't have the money to actually go out and buy letraset sheets. So we had donated letraset sheets from graphic design companies who gave us their old ones. The letters that you really needed, they were all missing, so you had to construct these letters yourself. I discovered very quickly that handwriting these headlines would actually be more satisfying and definitely more quicker than going through reconstructing the letraset sheets. The faculty that we encountered wasn't really up to date as we hoped it would be. So 4 of us got together and started to work for clients outside. Our main client was a very good contemporary theater in Vienna that advertised a lot, needed a lot of posters. We moved into various directions. For a long while we went all black because the scene in Vienna was very colorful. So you always had to take into consideration what everybody else were doing because you competed against them. And when everybody else went black, we went colorful. This is mostly, I think that's where the bulk of our learning came from. Ultimately got me the Fulbright scholarship because the Fulbright Commission in Vienna, they were all theater goers, so they all knew my work when I came up to talk in front of the commission. So it was definitely extremely influential of what I would do. I mean, that really also what brought me to Vienna. In Hong Kong, I wanted to see other design studios. None of them, wanted to see me. They were busy. And one of the secretaries misunderstood me and thought that I'm looking for a job and then put me through to her boss immediately. And I figured, great, that's the way to do it. And then one of them, said, so they actually made a job offer. And I didn't really want a job, so I quoted them this ridiculous amount of money that I would have to make it go away because I couldn't say I'm not looking for a job, since that was the reason I was there in the first place, and they took it. The posters that we did in Hong Kong that had more visibility than others was a poster for the 4As, the Asian Advertising Agencies Association. We had a top illustration of 4 men in a 19th century English Chinese style shouting out. And then the 4As, and they would be turning around and mooning the audience. I figured with a title like that, the call for entry is the 4As, the whole thing basically designed itself. There were many, many letters to the editor My favorite one was just one sentence that said, "Who's the asshole who designed this poster?" Humor, by definition, has to have a surprise in it. Within graphic design, one of the difficulties in talking to an audience is that you have that attention of that audience very, very shortly. I think from the beginning as a studio, but also I think before that even as a student, tried to employ a couple of strategies that seemed to stay with us throughout. One was definitely surprise itself. Humor, that's a variation of it. Shock. Integration, as in some sort of interaction that would force the viewer into interaction with the piece. All of them consciously and clearly designed to work within a short time frame. I mean, I think that they're all pretty logical, and you would have to be pretty much an idiot as to not employ them, since they clearly work, and they clearly work in a short time frame.
Log on next week when Sagmeister moves to New York City to start his own studio and commissions a variety of work, including cover art for the Rolling Stones and Lou Reed.